Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, directors of the intelligence services of United States of America and Russia meet in Turkey. And this is a new one. I'm pretty sure they had contacts before, even during the Ukrainian situation. And they meet in Ankara. Again, Turkey is the center of negotiations and center of control where people meet. That's good. There's no more Switzerland, no more Sweden. They lost their neutrality. Now at least Turkey or Erdogan is not neutral, is with both. You know what I mean? Is not pretending I'm not with either side. I'm with both, because he takes advantage of either whenever he can. He's an opportunistic, like a hyena, you know. It's just an opportunistic predator, and that's good, because whenever he does something for himself and for his country, for his people, not for anybody else. So these things that he organizes here, it doesn't do it, I'm thinking, the way I got to know Mr. Erdogan so far from his little statements and actions. He doesn't do this because, oh my God, let's have peace here and we love peace. For this kind of ideals. It's for personal gain, country's gain, his people's gain. I think that's the order. So this article comes from Sputnik, and it's from 5 minutes ago, which is today the 14th of November 2022. So, CIA Director Burns meeting Russian counterpart Narishkin in Ankara, reports say. I found this article in more than one news outlet, and they're very tight-lipped over here. So, Washington. CIA Director William Burns is meeting his Russian counterpart Sergei. So these Russians have two names, I guess, Sergei and Vladimir. These are the most common, or at least these people having this kind of first names get in positions of power. It seems like, just pay attention and you're going to find Vladimir and Sergei. A counterpart, Sergei Narishkin, in Ankara on Monday, today, for talks on detained U.S. citizens and nuclear risks, CNN reported, citing a National Security Council NSC spokesperson for detained U.S. citizens. I'm pretty sure there are some detained Russian citizens as well. It's not because only that, but anyway. Burns, and I'm quoting, is conveying a message on the consequences of the use of nuclear weapons by Russia and the risks of escalation to strategic stability. He will also raise the case of unjustly detained U.S. citizens. And quote, the NSC spokesperson was quoted as saying. Let's look at this. So, Biden is conveying a message on the consequences of. So, the consequences. If you do this, this is what's gonna happen. Or if you do this, we're gonna smack you. Or if you do this, you're gonna, okay. It's good to know what you're gonna do in case we do what you say we will do. Now, what does CIA claim that, or United States claim that Russia does? So let's see. Consequences of the use of nuclear weapons by Russia. What are you talking about? I refuse to fall into the category of those people who are targeted by the mass media with this nonsense. They say, the mass media, these politicians, try to put this, I don't want to say big lie, but probably I should, that Russia, you will use nuclear weapons. Russia made as many statements regarding using nuclear weapons in Ukraine. When I talk about Russia, I'm not talking about weasels. I'm talking about people that really have power in conducting such a operation or something like this. They spoke as much about it as Ukraine spoke, or France, or NATO states. Now, if even though Ukraine spoke about nuclear weapons more than even Russia, concretely naming them names, not like the Russians. This is the extent to what Russia said. And I have to say this over and over again. They said that those regions that were accepted, annexed, however you want to call them, the new territories, right, from the eastern Ukraine, now they're part of Russia. And being part of Russia through referenda and blah, 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 legally by the Russians, those are Russia. Now, if those things are attacked or Russia's territory is violated and those territories fall under the protection of the Russian Constitution, because that was a question asked. I'm leaving aside Putin. I remember when Peskov said that, and not only Peskov, he said those fall under the Russian Constitution's duties and jurisdiction. And if our country is threatened, now Putin said, we're going to use any means to defend our country. And I'm not bluffing. That means any means, any military means. Now when I say any military means, could mean we could use automatic weapons, we can use tanks, we can use aircraft, we can use nuclear weapons, but he doesn't call it nuclear weapons. And I'm not an idiot to say, well, that's exactly what he means. No, he could have just said it, because these guys already jumped that, oh, they said it. They never said it. I don't know about them saying, we're going to use nuclear weapons. I tell you who said that. There was Kadyrov, who's not in power and control in Russia. He has no authority over the nuclear weapons. He's not a politician. He's a leader of a province, of a little state, whatever it's called. All right? So I don't know, it's like you say Lindsey Graham, who is a senator, one of 100 in the United States, said that Putin must be assassinated, taken out. So he said it, that he has to be taken out. It's like Russia would say, yeah, we need to bombard them with nuclear weapons. That would be the counterpart, but it's not. It's not the same thing. So when these guys say, oh, they said they will use it, I didn't hear them saying that we were going to use it. But they said, when they were pushed again and pressed up and pressed, Peskov said, just read our doctrine of deterrence and use of nuclear weapons, since you asked about nuclear weapons. They were asked about it. And they say, well, we're going to do this. Yeah, we might do this. We'll think about this. Now, I said, we asked about that. Just read the doctrine of using nuclear weapons. And if that action falls under that umbrella and that policy, then you draw your conclusion. It's like I would say, so are you going to use nuclear weapons if, let's say, China attacks you with nuclear weapons? And a person would say, yes. Oh my God, they threatened to bombard China with nuclear weapons. If that's going to be the scenario that to expose, you put forth, yes, that's going to be the consequences, like Americans here. That's going to be the consequences if you use that. But again, is that kind of interpretation when you have a conversation with someone and someone says, you know what, I'm not going to talk to you because because of your tone. Okay, don't talk to me. Don't come back to talk to me again then. I think you're angry. I will talk to you later. I mean, you know, this kind of things is like, yeah, I might be angry. So what? Let's talk about it. No. I think you're angry. Or you know what? I'm not gonna get involved in this one right now because it's you. You don't wanna negotiate. Why don't you let me say that? Why don't you ask me? I mean, you already put something on me that I didn't say, that I didn't do. It's like, for instance, Russia would have said, well, we want to just invade Ukraine because Ukraine is bad, or Ukraine doesn't want to talk to us. Without, Ukraine can say whatever they want. But they can say, no, we think that you don't want to negotiate, or we think you want to blow us up. Therefore, we're not going to make this decision. Who said that? Well, that's our interpretation of your actions. What actions? We're not going to talk to you anymore. So that bothers me because it's this whistle method that I found in my life many times with certain people, and I was like, how in the hell you drive a car? How do you tie your shoes? How do you put your pants, how there should be, and not inside out or backwards or something? How can you function in a society thinking like this, reasoning in this way, let's put it this way? How is it possible? And those people could be in positions of power. And you say, what's going on? So let's read the last paragraph here. The CIA chief is not conducting negotiations of any kind, end quote, and will not raise the topic of the settlement to the Ukraine conflict, according to the report. Well, you don't have any authority anyway. I don't know what, that goes without saying. They don't have any authority to go in any negotiations, CIA. CIA is over there to make sure that outside interests of the United States and the country is protected from outside forces, and that's it. They should take care of that, provide information when negotiations about what the country. That's not there. That's Secretary of State and the President's office and all that. But anyway, that's the way it is. They are not diplomats. They are people who gather information and make things happen, if you know what I mean. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. It's good that they meet.